You feel angry or disappointed by someone or something because those feelings are stemmed from your expectations that are not met. When we form expectations, we create a mental framework of how things should be and how events should unfold. We predict an outcome based on our desires, experiences, or beliefs. And when reality does not match those preconceived notions, we feel angry, disappointed, or frustrated. Let's say you expect your friend to act in a certain way because that's how they've acted in the past. So if they behave differently, you feel disappointed or even angry. Similarly, if you worked hard on a project, you might want to get a positive feedback or some recognition. And if you don't receive it, you feel upset or disheartened. I'm not saying you shouldn't have any expectations at all, but rather be mindful of them. You should understand that things may not always go as planned, and that's okay. Because life is unpredictable and uncontrollable factors influence the outcomes, and there's nothing we can do about it. When we accept unpredictability, we learn to be more flexible with our expectations and avoid the trap of rigid thinking. And with this acceptance, our feelings of disappointment and anger start to fade away, and it helps us to maintain more positive relationships and happiness in life. It applies to everything that happens around you or to relationships you have, whether it's your siblings, your parents, your boss, or your friend. You may do a favor for your sibling or some extra work for your boss, which is a bad idea, I think. And as a result, you want to feel appreciated or maybe even just a thank you. But your sibling doesn't give you the response you were expecting or you wanted, and your boss stays indifferent to what you've done. Now you have some scenes in your head that no one should know about. If you want to protect your emotional well-being, it's important to manage your expectations. Because what causes anger? Your expectations. It's like when you fall in love with someone but you don't know them very well yet, so you start to dream the rest of your life with them. But then you start to learn a bit more about them than you should have. So now you're on that fine line that you don't know whether you are disappointed in yourself for seeing them beyond what they are, or disappointed in them because they are not what you thought they were. Here comes your disappointment from your expectations. You have a crush on them because of the lack of information. You are not seeing things as they are or people as who they are, but you are seeing them through your expectations of what and how and who you want them to be. Our expectations could be a bit unrealistic or based on incorrect assumptions, which set us up for unnecessary disappointment. Also, expecting perfection from others or ourselves is not only unrealistic but also unfair. If you embrace imperfection, it allows you to be more forgiving and understanding and reduces the feeling of anger and disappointment. You cultivate a more balanced perspective towards life's ups and downs. You start to appreciate life's surprises, both pleasant and not so pleasant, as opportunities for growth and learning rather than as sources of disappointment. Like if you're going through something and if it ends well, you will enjoy the outcome, right? But the hard part is staying positive when it doesn't end well instead of getting disappointed or angry by it. You can choose to see it as learning something from it. Because life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And everything that is happening for your highest good. You may not see it as something good now, but when you look back after you took 10 steps from that event, you will see how that happened for your highest good. Also, by managing our expectations, we become more resilient in the face of adversity. When things don't go as planned, instead of allowing anger and disappointment to take over, it's more beneficial to accept it and find alternative ways to achieve our goals. It's natural to have expectations, like don't lower your standards, but also don't allow them to control your happiness or your self-worth. Our value isn't determined whether or not our expectations are met. If you recognize this, you can free yourself from that emotional turmoil that often comes with unmet expectations and feel more at peace with yourself in your life. And to manage your expectations, you have to be self-aware. Understand your personal values, emotional triggers, and the reasoning behind your expectations. Are these expectations based on past experiences, societal pressures, or personal desires? If you understand that, you can better navigate the discrepancy between what you anticipate and what actually unfolds. Last but not least, you should practice patience and empathy. I mean it when I say expecting perfection from others or ourselves is not only unrealistic but also unfair. Because when our expectations involve others, we have to remember that everyone has their own set of circumstances, struggles, and viewpoints that may not align with ours. Patience gives us the space to accept differences and delays, while empathy allows us to understand and appreciate others' perspectives. And give some of that empathy and patience to yourself too. Sometimes you have to step back to look at your situation, to look at where you are before judging yourself and be disappointed by yourself. Don't be the victim of your mind, because sometimes you can really be the victim of external factors. To sort that out, try to see the bigger picture and try to find your way out. There's always a way out, and it's not the end of the world. It's just another chapter in your life. Embrace the chaos, learn from the setbacks, and above all, be kind to yourself and those around you when things don't go as planned. Because in the grand scheme of things, your life is not the movie you know how it ends, not the memorized lyrics of the song you repeatedly listen to. You can always expect everything to go as planned. The essence of life lies in its unpredictability and continual growth. Marcus Aurelius firmly believed that we possess control over our own minds. Our thoughts and perceptions have a crucial role in how we experience and react to the world around us. It's not the event themselves that disturb us, but rather our expectations, our judgments, our beliefs about these events. Then when we are faced with some unpleasant or unpredicted events, we should change our judgment towards it. So make a conscious effort to shift your expectations and accept that we cannot always exercise control over everything in life. If you expect for things to progress smoothly and perfectly, you will always set yourself up for disappointment and frustration, given that life is inherently unpredictable and fraught with challenges. However, if you acknowledge this reality and adjust your expectations to align with it, you will cope more effectively and easily with adversities when they arise. So focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts, attitudes, and actions, we do not only mitigate feelings of anger and disappointment, but also we cultivate more peaceful and resilient mindset. So anger, disappointment, and expectations are a call for self-awareness, self-control, and acceptance of life's unpredictability. See challenges and adversities not as hindrances, but as opportunities for growth. Think about it. If they are able to take away your contentment or make you feel angry or disappointed, then your feelings, whether they are good or bad, feeling sad or happy, your feelings will always depend on the other side, on other people. Would you let external circumstances or other people create your happiness for you, or would you create it within yourself?